Okay, if you're into building RC cars, you probably know there's a big difference, right, between just following the manual
Oh, yeah.
and what you might call a real pro build.
Definitely. That next level.
Exactly. Getting that durability, that reliability, the kind of feel that makes your RC seem like, I don't know, a precision machine, not just a toy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that comes down to the small stuff,
Yeah,
especially the fasteners, the screws.
absolutely crucial. The foundation, really.
So our mission today on this deep dive is to unpack three pretty advanced techniques for plastic threads, repairing them, creating better ones.
Yeah, focusing on making those models, especially classics like Tamiya kits with all that plastic, really solid and serviceable.
Think of it like maybe a shortcut to getting that mechanical perfection. We're going deep into restoring damage, proactively making stronger threads, and even a neat trick for vintage stuff.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's start with something everyone hates. The stripped screw hole. Uh, we've all done it. But what if you could fix it and make it even stronger than it was originally? This is where the CA glue and baking soda thing comes in. It sounds weird, but it works.
It really does. And the science is actually pretty cool. You've got your cyanoacrylate that's just super glue, right?
The thin stuff, preferably.
Yes, thin. And regular baking sodium bicarbonate. When they mix, you get this immediate exothermic reaction.
Exothermic meaning it gets hot.
Yeah, produces heat as it cures. The baking soda basically kicks the CA into high gear. It acts as a catalyst. And it cures into this new, really hard, dense plastic, almost like acrylic.
People say hard as rock maple.
That's the description you hear a lot. And it is hard.
Ooh.
But here's the catch. It's also quite brittle.
Ah, okay. So where's it good and where maybe not so much?
It's fantastic for things like, say, gearbox casings, places where the thread just needs solid holding power, but maybe less ideal for, like, suspension arms that need to flex a lot. That brittleness could cause it to crack under impact or heavy load.
Gotcha. And there's a specific way to do it, right? You don't just mix it up in a cup.
No, definitely not. You need that thin CA, like we said. Standard baking soda, not baking powder. That's different.
Right.
And you use a layering method. A little sprinkle of soda in the hole, a drop of thin CA to saturate it, let it cure, which is instant, then repeat. Build it up.
Layer by layer. And safety first, obviously.
Yeah.
Glasses, ventilation.
Absolutely mandatory. Those fumes are strong, and you don't want CA flicking into an eye.
Good point. Are there other options if this method isn't quite right?
Sure. If you need something less brittle, maybe for those higher stress flexi parts, a good 2-part epoxy putty works well. It's stronger overall, just takes longer to cure.
Okay.
And then for, ultimate durability, especially if you'll be taking something apart often, like a motor mount, threaded brass inserts are the top tier. You install a metal insert, screw into that. Metal on metal. Super strong.
Right. More work, but probably lasts forever. Okay, so that's repair. Making things stronger after they break. What about preventing the break in the first place? Building better from the start.
Now you're talking proactive building.
Let's talk about moving away from those standard self-tapping screws that come in many kits, especially older Tamiya ones, and upgrading to machine screws. What's the real benefit?
It's a huge difference, honestly. Those self-tapping screws, well, they cut their own threads as you drive them in.
Right. This is its way in.
Exactly. And that pushes the plastic outwards, creates high radial stress around the hole. Over time, or with over-tightening, this leads to tiny cracks, weakening, and eventually stripping.
Ah, okay. So machine screws avoid that.
They do, because you prepare the hole first. You cut threads before inserting the screw. So the machine screw goes into a perfectly matched thread. Much less stress on the plastic, a more precise fit, way stronger connection, and you can take it apart and reassemble it many times without wear.
Makes sense. So if you want to use machine screws, you need to pre-thread the plastic. What's the tool for that? I hear about the Tamiya M3 tap all the time, that item 54232.
Yeah, that's the one people often recommend for M3 screws and Tamiya kits, and there's a good reason.
Why that specific one? Aren't all taps the same?
No, not quite. This is actually a key point, that Tamiya tap is a thread-forming tap.
Forming, not cutting.
Correct. Instead of cutting and removing plastic material, it displaces and compresses the plastic. It actually cold forms the threads, making the plastic around the threads denser and stronger.
Ah, interesting. So a regular tap from the hardware store wouldn't do that.
Usually not. Most standard taps are thread-cutting taps. They carve away material, which technically creates a weaker thread in plastic compared to forming.
Good to know. Any tips for actually doing the tapping?
Yes, absolutely crucial. Use lubrication, a little bit of silicone grease, or even light oil on the tap threads.
Why is that?
It does two things. It reduces friction and therefore heat buildup, which can distort the plastic or make the thread rough. And it helps clear any minor debris, ensuring you get a really clean, perfect thread. Go slow, back it out occasionally.
Okay, slow and steady with lube. Got it. Now let's shift gears one last time. There's this other technique, the heated screw method. What's that about? Is it like an alternative to tapping?
No, absolutely not. Let's be super clear on this. This is not for installing machine screws.
Okay, so what is it for?
It's a specialized technique. It's for safely installing the original self-tapping screws into very old, potentially brittle vintage plastics without cracking them. Think restoring an old Tamiya frog or hotshot chassis.
Ah, so preservation for vintage stuff.
Exactly. That old plastic can get really fragile. If you just force a self-tapper in, pop, you get a crack. The heat method avoids that.
How does it work? You just heat the screw.
Basically, yes. You gently heat the self-tapping screw itself, maybe with the tip of a soldering iron, not red hot, just enough to warm it up. Then you carefully drive it into the plastic hole.
And the heat softens the plastic just enough.
Right. It momentarily softens the plastic right where the threads are forming, allowing them to cut in without building up that dangerous stress that causes fractures.
Okay, but I imagine you need to be careful not to melt everything.
Oh, absolutely. Practice on some scrap plastic first.
Yeah.
Seriously. Get a feel for the right temperature and speed. You do not want to melt an irreplaceable vintage part.
Definitely not. Good warning. Is there a specific technique?
Yeah, the best way is often preforming. Heat the screw, drive it in without the part it's supposed to be holding. Just form the threads in the main chassis piece, for example.
Ah, so thread the hole first. Let it cool completely.
Exactly. Let it cool down, then remove the screw. Now you have preformed threads, and you can assemble the parts normally with the screw going in easily, no stress. It really helps preserve those fragile old kits.
That makes a lot of sense. So wrapping this up, we've covered repairing with CA and soda, building stronger with tapping for machine screws, and preserving vintage with heat. What's the big takeaway for builders listening?
I think it boils down to a philosophy, maybe. Repairing with intention, building for actual durability, and preserving those older models with care and precision.
It's about looking beyond just getting the screw tight.
Totally. The mark of a really skilled builder, I think, isn't just how shiny the final car looks. It's the hidden stuff, the integrity of every single connection. Investing in the right tools, like a good tap handle or, a proper JIS screwdriver so you don't trash the heads on those Japanese screws.
Oh, yeah. JIS drivers are essential for Tamiya kits.
Right. It's not just spending money. It's an investment in the quality and longevity of your work. That's what separates maybe the casual builder from someone aiming for real craftsmanship and artisan approach.
Well put. So here's something maybe for you listening to think about. How many of these little details, these potential upgrades, are hiding in plain sight on your own workbench or in your projects? What small, deliberate change could you make on your next build to take it from just good to something, well, truly exceptional?